And I was camping over the weekend, so I couldn't see it live, but that's been my week.
Alrighty, and a very special guest we have, Alebeard. How are you doing, my friends?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you for having me on. My weekend gaming was mainly spent trying to get Murky to 10, so I've been everybody's worst nightmare, my teammates and my opponents alike.
There you go, and we're bringing you on mostly because you were actually out at Heroes of the Dorm, and we're going to get your thoughts on that in just a little bit. But as far as my week, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch and Heroes casually. Like Zectorus had mentioned, we kind of hopped on some Smurfs for a little bit of fun, and last week we had a lot of fun on the post games of the show with the Asmodunk brawl, which unfortunately or fortunately is the brawl for this week as well, so we can play it again if we want. Power fan seems pretty happy about that, but yeah, we'll see. I did watch Dorm live. It was a really well produced event, and I really liked the commentary. And just it looked really full. I mean, obviously we'll talk to Ilbeer in a little bit about that, but they mentioned Jinx on the show, doing shirts and jerseys, and I was like, why not? I'm just gonna randomly ask Jinx for a T-shirt, and they responded and gave me a T-shirt. It's still on the way, but it's like, okay, that's totally random. But thank you, Jinx, for that. Not a sponsor, but thank you anyways for that, because you just have to ask for things apparently on Twitter. Like,
that's not true. The one guy has to get 18 million retweets to get nuggets.
He's gonna get there.
It's only a free
Jimmy
year
had to get
nugget.
I got 0 retweets.
Jimmy just dropped his name and got free stuff.
Yeah, but
about
that
timing.
Nugget guy is gonna get like so much more engagement than I did off of one T-shirt.
I will admit, I did retweet the Nugget guy.
I did too.
I did too.
You have to.
A man needs his chicken nuggies.
Speaking of
He's
cool
like
Jinx
16.
gear, I'm wearing my Heroes of the Dorm jersey.
Nice.
Pretty excited
That's
about
awesome.
Nice.
My stuff is in the mail still. I guess there was a delay on all ground shipments.
Oh, for the Blizzard Gear Store
I got
stuff,
one of
yeah.
On sale.
Yeah. I got one of those Diablo shirts with the number on the back.
that. Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wait, I got a question for Ale.
Yeah, go
real
for it.
quick. Like when you went to Heroes of the Dorm, how did they let you in? Like, how did you pass metal detectors and stuff through the airport?
I don't get it.
Okay.
We always joke around on the show about how you're
I'm
actually a robot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, this is why I could only go to Heroes of the Dorm here, because I live in Las Vegas, so I didn't have to go through airport security.
Oh,
There we go.
And I guess that's why I always drive to BlizzCon. So my programming has taught me, I guess, I don't even know it, it's just subconscious. Don't lie.
adapted.
Yeah. He's a
There
learning
you
machine,
go.
guys.
Like IBM Watson.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Heroes of the Dorm 2017. It did finish up this past weekend. If you missed it, LSU beat Kentucky 2-0 to advance to the grand finals. UT Arlington beat UCI. UC run 2-0 to advance to the finals. And then UT Arlington won 3-0 over LSU. So the quality of games were kind of weak, I felt, overall. Those of you who watched, I'm curious if you thought the same. UT Arlington kind of just completely outdrafted LSU from what I saw, or from what I could gather from watching it. And there was a Medivh pick. I couldn't remember which game it was, but someone picked Medivh, and it was like, where's your damage coming from? And they lost.
Yeah, Kentucky picked them in the second game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was a really odd pick.
That was definitely an odd pick. But yeah, Albert, I want to get your thoughts on being there at the event. I wasn't able to go this year, but you and I were able to go last year, which was a little bit of a different experience. How did that compare to last year? And just how was the event as a whole, as a one-day event versus a two-day event last year?
Yeah, it's interesting. I like Heroes of the Dorm because of the atmosphere. Like, all of the Heroes lands have a good energy. The crowd obviously is very intense, but there's something that's just a little bit different about Heroes of the Dorm. You have that collegiate aspect that was really apparent here at this venue because, first of all, it was on a college campus, but then also with UCI being in the Final Four, they had a lot of people that came in, you normally get the friends and family. That's understandable, but there are a lot of just students that were there to support their school. So that was really cool, and that's something that we don't see a lot in like the previous ones. It's usually just friends and family. But yeah, the fact that it was on a campus, I thought gave it a little bit more of that college vibe and connected it even more to the university aspect. But the energy was really good. You know, you talk about how maybe the games weren't all that great, and that's what's really odd about being at a live event, because you get so caught up in the hype that even though it's a sweep, you're still like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree, because that's how I felt kind of about the BlizzCon finals. I was like, oh yeah, the final series was like super good, but only one of the games was really a quality game, and that's just because Fnatic took one off the Koreans.
Yeah, I talked to some people at the event, and one of the things that they were really looking for at this event in particular was to have it on a college campus. I guess they looked at over 200 different venues, and they really wanted it on a campus somewhere, and that's how they ended up coming on to UNLV, was just the different venues, the different collegiate venues that they looked at. This was the one that they ended up going with, but that was one of their top criteria, was just making sure that it was on a college campus somewhere. They thought it was really cool last year that it was in a sports venue and you had that big sports name, but this year they really wanted to connect to the collegiate aspect of it.
Yeah, and going back to the first dorm, that was, I guess, technically on a college campus. It was at the USC, one of the theaters at USC, which was pretty cool, and that had a really big showing as well. So that's the thing that's been good about, I think, about Heroes of the Dorm, is there's been a strong turnout to all three so far, from what I could tell. I mean, it looked full on the cameras, and we obviously know production can kind of trick a little bit around that. But how did it look to you? Was it pretty full?
Oh, it was packed for sure. So this venue was a little bit smaller. They had 750 seats. They had about 11 to 1,200 people total between the crowd, the staff, the media, all the assorted people that were there. So it was a little bit smaller. I think last year in Seattle was around 1,100 for seating. So it was a little bit smaller, but it was much more intimate. The crowd was loud, but it was sold out in advance, which was a good sign. So they could have had a bigger venue, I think, if they wanted to. So they didn't choose a smaller venue because they couldn't sell tickets. They picked a smaller venue because that's what kind of matched what they were looking for.
Cool.
But yeah, it was sold out in advance. I bought a ticket just for the swag.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a sucker for digital goodies. So when I went out to the ticket booth to pick up my ticket, because I had forgotten to print it out, so I had to go there and have it get reprinted, I ran into a person who was there with his son, and they only had one ticket apparently. They didn't realize it would be sold out. So it was nice. I was able to give him my ticket. He was able to get in and go see his son. So that was pretty cool.
No, that's really awesome.
Sold out.
No, that's definitely good.
It is really awesome.
So what was there at the venue? I remember last year there was like a store. I think there was a signing area, and obviously there was an area to make signs and stuff like that. We saw some really good signs this year. Mom Send Money for Gems was one of my favorites that I saw, which I thought was pretty good going into 2.0 in the next couple of weeks. And what was it? There was an interview with, was it one of the LSU players' families that they said don't die or something like that was the strategy?
Yeah, I thought the interviews were really, really good. And again, maybe that's just me being biased because I was there and I had that energy that was just contagious. But I thought the interviews with the families were really good, and that one was good too, right? When they interviewed the LSU family, and they had, I think he was a cousin, and he was maybe 10 or something and didn't know a ton about the game. And yeah, when he said, be patient and don't die, that was just the perfect advice for all of us, really.
Yeah, I think it's perfect advice for any mobile player going forward. I think it's also a testament to them picking Anna Prosser to host once again. I think she's a really strong host and really appreciates the hero scene. I mean, obviously she's taken a step back because of her stuff involved with Twitch, but she still really loves the scene, obviously having brought up the show with Gillyweed and Heroes Hype and all that. So she still definitely appreciates Heroes.
She easily gives one of the better live interviews I've heard in esports, and I watch quite a few different ones. It's very hard to kind of like just jump in with people you don't really know, and they're not all of them are established. I mean, I'm sure she has a rapport with some of them, but I mean, in Dorm, you don't really know anybody that well. And
I think a lot of it comes from her background because she has a pageant background, so she's
Mhm.
used to being
Oh,
on
yeah.
stage and having to speak. She's passionate about the game, which also helps. And then, yeah, she's just a nice person, and that helps her connect with people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good points.
The one thing that was a little bit different about this event, and you could see it when they would show the casting desk, they actually had that set up in a remote location, so it wasn't visible from the arena, but it gave them a real cool shot of the Las Vegas skyline behind the caster desk, but they weren't actually in with the crowd and everything, so it was kind of a little bit different. I don't know that it really affected anything, but it was an interesting
I'm
decision.
wondering if that was production trying to make it kind of a little more like a regular sports broadcast, where they kind of have that separation between the host, the desk host and analyst, versus the casters going forward. But yeah, it seemed like a really solid event. I enjoyed watching it. I guess one last time, talk about our dislike of Facebook Live. Were you able to talk to anyone there about that? Actually, I'm curious because when I talked to people at the media summit, they were very aware of the community feedback about the use of Facebook Live.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be at a dinner and be seated next to Tyler Cohen, who is one of the presidents of TESPA and a big part of the Blizzard esports division. So we talked about it, and of course he highlighted all the good things about the Facebook partnership and how responsive they've been. But then he also acknowledged that, yes, they're aware of a lot of the challenges that people have faced. And so he kind of played both sides of it, where he highlighted the good, but then also acknowledged the things that maybe weren't quite ideal. One of the things that we talked about and that he seemed to be in favor of and they want to work towards next year is making those VODs more easily accessible on the website. Like if you go to the HGC site,
They have it
and
down,
you miss you miss Naventic and No Tomorrow and you want to watch that good game, you can just click to the side of it and it has VOD and it just takes you right to that video. Makes it much easier to catch up on the game. So little features like that was something that regardless of what direction they go in next year, they want to increase that website functionality.
Yeah, for sure. And both you and I, we got top 500 on our bracket. I see. It
was a roller coaster
it was a
ride.
little bit. I ended up 285. You were 142. So top 500, we both get those Kerrigan skins. The wonderful cheerleaders Kerrigan. I'm excited for it. I guess the other thing I wanted to ask you was, how did you feel it being a one-day event versus a 2-day event that it was last year?
I don't know. I was torn on that. It seems so odd to me going into it to have it just be a one-day event. I wasn't sure, how that. It just seemed abrupt to have it be a one-day thing. But once you got there to the venue, especially with the games being so quick, I think it actually worked better being a one-day event, because it would have been kind of a letdown, I think, if you went to this event as a fan. You go in, you watch 2 best of 2s, and an hour and a half later you're going home. So again, maybe having it all in one day makes sense given the way that these games tend to play out, which, based on past Here's the Dorm experience, tends to be one-sided.
Yeah.
And regardless, Haas games are 20, 25 minutes most of the time. So if you for the best of 3 semis, you can get at most 6 games. So there's like 2 hours of gameplay max, and then the finals is going to be probably an hour. And so especially that second day where you show up and there's just like 1 hour. It's kind of
you get a 3S sweep and that's that. Yeah, so I think it was a good decision.
Okay.
I was going to say one other thing, and I forgot what it was. Speaking of the brackets, one of the things that I talked to Tyler about was how they do the seeding. To me, that was something that I thought was very interesting. And he was talking about, so this tournament has a group phase, and then that feeds into a bracket phase, and then that feeds into the actual round of 64 bracket. So when they make the round of 64 bracket, they take those first 2 rounds, the group play, the bracket play, but then they also use the in-game MMR to try to help flesh out the seeding a little bit more, because there is such limited information. Some teams may have only played 6 or 8 matches between the group and the first bracket stage.
Interesting. I didn't know that they use the MMR for that, so it's a really unique insight there.
I'm glad
he was saying it's sort of like a tiebreaker.
Yeah, because solo MMR isn't everything when it comes to placing the teams, but it definitely it makes sense why they had a number 2 seed and a 1 seed in the final, right? Yeah. It was fairly accurate as far as their placements go.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of teams too play on Smurf accounts. So when I did my bracket, one of the things that I did, I looked at all the stats that they had on the website. But then when I thought the matches were close, I also looked at HOTS logs to try to get a little bit of extra data. And a lot of those players don't have HOTS logs profiles. They're either marked private or they have 2 or 3 games and they played a lot of their games on Smurfs. And because all the real games are on custom games, they don't show up in tracking like that.
Okay, one more thing before we kind of leave Here's the Dorm in the past and move forward towards HEC is I thought it was interesting the casting lineup they decided to go this year. They brought in a lot of the kind of amateur scene casters in Verum, Halloran, The Source, and oh my gosh, why can't KO? There we go. And they brought the action from kind of the open seating through the round of 16. And I thought it was interesting. Then they just decided to switch to Caldor, Trixler, Gillyweed, and Dread, along with Cloaken, obviously hosting the event as well. It was a very different change from how they've had it in the past. I know we had Tasteless and Artosis the past 2 years of Dorm. It seems like they've kind of stepped away from that and wanted to really help their established casters get this big scene. Maybe it not being on ESPN was part of prompting that. I'm just curious of what you guys think of having the amateur casters not be able to cast the entire event and kind of just have to stop at round of 8, which I felt was kind of weird and abrupt. But I'm curious if anyone thinks the same as me or different.
I mean, as far as Tasteless Artosis, like the first 2 years they brought them in for Star Power. It's like this is their new event they were trying to get hype for. And like one was ESPN, where like people, oh, this is an ESPN thing, and the other was like people know Tasteless and Artosis if they follow StarCraft 2 at all, because they're just like the casters.
Yeah.
So, it's like you get these people to start. Maybe I'll try out Here's the Storm, but like Dorm is a semi-established event right now, right? It's kind of like a get new people type event, but it's you're moving into a point of the game's lifespan where you have kind of an established player base, and you have established casters, and you wanted to start using the people that know the game well, because some of the complaints with Tasteless and Artosis was like their casting ability is great, but they just they weren't as familiar with the game as other people were, and so I think as far as that goes, I think that decision makes sense. Other people might have more insight on the open casters issue.
I thought it was a bit odd too, and then I went back and read the initial caster announcement, and it was in there from the get-go that this was the plan. I think more than anything, it was just a logistics thing, because so many of the people that are their go-to casters at the time that the early rounds of Heroes of the Dorm were going on, they were at Katowice, they were at the Eastern Clash, so I think it was just a conflict in scheduling that they had to go to different casters for some of the early stuff, which I think is actually good. It exposes people to casters they probably don't know, maybe not quite as much as it would have exposed them had they been on Twitch instead of Facebook, but still it gets some new faces out there and maybe sets the future of casting up a little bit stronger.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm really happy to see a lot of people get exposed to Halloran, who's probably one of my favorite amateur casters I've gotten to work with, and he's a really cool guy. Yeah, he does need the couch next time. But I think that's going to be it for Dorm coverage for this year. Any closing thoughts before we move on? Powerhour fan, I know you didn't watch it, but I mean, what do you think of this year? I guess besides the Facebook thing, since we all know we're not happy with that.
Right. No. I love Dorm. I do. I need it to be on a platform that's easier for me to watch. That's really all there is to it. But yeah, I mean, Dorm's a great event, and I think it's a good exposure for people. You can't reach out to the college scene enough in esports, so that's where you're going to find the hungriest players. And I think it's harder in Heroes than some other games, just because the player base in MOBAs is kind of split, and there's a lot of people arguing all the time over which one's the best. As opposed to the Tespa Hearthstone one, Hearthstone's the king of card games right now. Besides Magic, it's very easy to to get like a big competitive group of people on campus, so it's a little more exciting. But the hype and the casting and the production quality and just basically everything about Dorm, it's in the right direction. This is only the third year, so I think you tried Facebook Live in year 3. Move on, and we'll see you again next year. Yeah.
I don't like Caldor.
I'm going to come out and say I don't like him as a caster. I love him as an analyst. I think he's really great on the analyst desk. I'm not super huge on him as a caster for Heroes, at least.
You know what? Okay, I'll agree with that. He is a really good analyst, but like I don't like him casting action. And I even though we knew the swap was coming, it was still really jarring to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
Well. And I think one thing that we're probably moving towards as Heroes Esports continues to grow is more defined roles for our casters. Like traditional sports usually have a color guy, a play-by-play guy, and those two people have different strengths and they bring different things. So you've got one guy calling the game, and you've got another guy providing the analysis, the insight, going in deep on the plays that you see. And I was in Trixer's chat at one point a while back when this whole change was getting ready. And one of the things that he pointed out was that he and Caleris essentially bring the same thing. They're playing more of that host role, more of the, just that role. And they didn't have the insight as strongly as with Caldoron. So it makes the casting a little more dynamic and deep to have those two people with contrasting styles and contrasting skills.
It's the classic JR King combo.
Yep. No,
sure. I'm not wrong on that. I mean, you never want two people doing the same role at the same time for commentary. You want that guy who just has a way with words and makes, everything a little more exciting. And then you want that person to help you understand what in the world just happened.
Yeah. Well, and having defined roles helps them know whose turn it is, too. That's one of the things that a lot of these guys struggle with, I think sometimes, maybe Caldor in particular, is he's a very strong solo caster. That's what he made his bread and butter on. So now to be casting with somebody, again, where is your spot? Where do you talk? When do they talk? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on a little bit, but kind of to bridge that, the kind of tradition or what has happened after Heroes of the Dorm going forward, it seems like players who have won have generally moved on to be a part of the pro scene. And I'm curious, as we go to preview the next phase of HGC, NA, and EU, do we think UTA is going to be bringing at least some of those teammates into the process there of going to HGC? Because they are really high up in HGC Open right now, and possibly could be playing in the Crucible.
I hope they do play in the Crucible. Like Blaze, remember when everyone thought Blaze was like one of the best teams in NA?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
I
one
wondered
of the up-and-coming teams anyway.
Yeah.
I wondered where they went after Dorm, and after BlizzCon qualifiers and stuff. They just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Well, it's because of the rule change, because you couldn't do both.
Right. And that was actually really, really smart out of Blaze. But now they won. They can jump back into the pro scene and not be held down. They don't have to worry about, college tuition anymore. And that's great. And the two players they actually picked up are actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why not? Now's the time. Get in there, get in the Crucible.
And even if they don't make it to the Crucible, I still think they've got players on their roster that, other teams could be looking to pick up. Especially if you're in that bottom half of the table where you're like, I need to make some roster changes going into next year's HGC. I definitely think you can find some upgrades off that UTA roster.
I personally hope they make it, because it's always interesting when you talk about these Heroes of the Dorm team. Like last year we had the Dream Team in ASU, and it's natural to try to compare how would this team do on the pro scene. So I think it would be awesome if UTA actually makes it through the Crucible and we get to see firsthand how these teams measure up.
Mm-hmm.
What I would actually like to see happen? Naventic
Doesn't involve Naventic losing.
It does. No, it doesn't actually involve Naventic losing.
Oh,
it might be a really nice change for Naventic. Is that Naventic picks up UTA and just completely drops their old roster?
Poor.
Nothing would give me greater
poor
joy. I guess no offense to Tomster. I guess.
See God. Oh my gosh.
You're collateral damage.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
For sure. But yeah, let's move on to HGC. We finally are getting it back, and we get to talk predictions once again. I think we agreed we're going to reset the board as we go forward. We're going to start all over again. We're going to include Elena. We're going to include Alebeard as well in our predictions. So it'll be a lot of fun to see how the rest of this phase of HGC is going forward. Just a disclaimer before we start talking about EU. Just a reminder that Team Liquid has re-entered Heroes of the Storm. They took over Misfits team, so that we'll be referring to them as Team Liquid. I'll try to remind you that they are formerly known as Misfits, but there we go.
Steve is just dropping money everywhere.
Yeah, seriously.
And that was an incredible pickup for Liquid. Like, if there was a team they needed, if they wanted to get back into Heroes, like, I wouldn't have picked a better team for them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did we want to start with NA or EU?
Might as well just go down.
All right, we'll go down the...
Well, our show notes.
Okay, we'll start with NA.
So
starting Friday, we're going to have opening the week GFE versus Team 8. Quite the great series, I think, here. I'm going to go GFE 2-1 here.
They're
best of fives? 3-2 then. I forgot. See, it's been too long since HGC has been on. I forgot we're doing best of fives. Oh my goodness. But yeah, GFE 3-2. Not going to lock it in. No locking this one in. This will be a close match. P Flame G.
I'm going to say teammate 3-1 over GFE.
You know what's up. He knows what's up.
Alebeard, let's go with Alebeard here.
All right, you're putting the robot on the spot. I wasn't ready for this. I'm going to say Team 8 3-2.
All right. He's got more faith in GFE than I do, which I blame him for. They're a good team.
Zexorus.
I'm actually going with Carl. I'm going 3-1 Team 8.
That's actually what I was feeling, but I just wanted to mix it up a little bit. So
sorry, Equinox. You're my homie. I give you poop every week, but
oh my gosh,
you're not being Team 8.
Balrog fan, how about you?
We're going to go Gale Force 3-1 here.
Ooh.
Got faith.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's a bold prediction. I like it.
And after that wonderful game, we get to have Naventic versus B-Step.
You ever seen a senior beat up on a kindergartner?
Oh, man.
Because that's what this is going to be.
Now, do you mean senior like over 60 with the walker?
No, I mean like
high school senior.
That's not actually too bad a description for B-Step.
Oh, it's true. I'm going to go 3-0 B-Step here. Like, nothing tells me that Naventic is going to show up for this half of the split.
Oh no, this isn't.
You said
3-0 B-Step.
Okay.
P Flame.
I will also say 3-0 B-Step. I think B-Step had a rough early start at the beginning and kind of had an upswing, and Naventic never really got better. I don't know what's happened in the offseason, but I still think it's a 3-0 in favor of B-Step.
Alebeard.
Nothing makes me want to pick Naventic 3-0 more than the joy that it would bring me putting Zex on tilt if that actually happened. But
that's not going to put me on tilt. That's just going to make me laugh at you.
3-0.
I'm sorry, what?
I said that's not.
3-0.
Oh yeah. That's actually not going to put me on. I feel like a clickbait article right now.
Gosh.
It'd be like when Indiana lost. You would just go off the deep end, and I would be happy, but I would also feel uncomfortable that you were so upset.
Oh my goodness. Zex, I have no clue what you're going to go with here.
Well, what happens next will shock you.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be B step 3-1.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Naventic will take one game and then remember they're Naventic, and then they'll drop the next 3.
You are officially Naventic.
Okay. This is true because they play. Did they play Tempo Storm, went up 2-0, and just crap the bed after that?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, lock it up.
Ooh, there we go. It's
Locking the
locked.
3-1 in favor of B-Step.
Okay, now I gave them a game. I gave Naventic a game.
You did.
None of you did.
No, why would I?
So game 1 will go.
They had the worst match score of any team in the first half of the season.
No,
You're
tomorrow
right,
is
but they-
worse.
Still,
No,
Wait,
No.
what?
they were worse.
yeah, according to, yeah.
No Tomorrow won more games than Naventic did.
Are you sure? Because I'm looking
I'm
at the
sure.
standings right now, and Naventic's 8-20. No, tomorrow's 6-19.
Oh, okay, maybe I lied.
It's probably. I think it's head-to-head as a tiebreaker too, right? So did Naventic beat No Tomorrow when they played?
Yes, they beat them 3-2.
Oh,
So that would be the tiebreaker then.
No, tomorrow went up 2-0 and then they crap the bed.
jeez.
It's like they need diapers. Or
Oh
something.
God.
I'm pretty sure Zuna
Oh.
needs diapers.
We're not going down that road. Balrog fan, how about you on this series?
B step 3-2.
Ooh, okay.
I just think Naventic plays up a little bit in some moments, and B step isn't good enough to just put their foot on their throats.
There you go. Saturday's games are going to be Team Freedom versus Superstars. This should be actually a pretty interesting matchup. Both of them are on kind of the bubble here. I'm going to go with Superstars 3-2, though, because I think these teams are pretty close in skill right now. Although with the break that could change, who knows. But Superstars, they have a real shot at potentially making the top 3. I think Team Freedom, they're in trouble of getting into the Crucible, but we'll see. 3-2 in favor of Superstars. P-Flame.
I'm gonna say 3-2 Freedom.
Any reason why?
Those are just words he's saying. Don't worry about
I
it.
just feel it in my
Okay.
gut. In
You
my
just
gut
feel
and
it in
guts.
your
I think this is going to be a good series. Other than obviously Team 8, who exceeded everybody's expectation, I think Team Freedom has shown really good improvement over where people expected them to be and how they've actually competed against some of these teams. So I'm still going to give Superstars the edge, but I'm going to go 3-2. I think Freedom's going to put up a good fight.
Sex?
I want you to read what I just
Oh, gosh.
typed. But it's gonna be 3-2, or I'm sorry, 3-1 Superstars, just because I don't like Team Freedom.
There we go.
Did you say 3-2?
3-1.
Balrog fan, how about you? How are you feeling on this series?
I think Team 8 is actually going to take this 3-1. I'll lock that in as well.
Freedom?
I wouldn't lock this one in because you're picking the wrong teams.
I'm sorry, Team Freedom. That's what I meant.
I would not lock in teammate winning the series 3-1.
Yeah, that would have.
There you go.
I'm typing.
Yeah, I know,
numbers,
it's a
people
lot.
have
It's a
their
lot.
team in
Yeah,
front
you're
of their
busy.
busy.
Lot
The rest
going
of us
on.
just get to spout nonsense. You actually have to keep track of it.
The second game on Saturday for NA is No Tomorrow versus Tempo Storm. I'm going to lock this in. Tempo Storm 3-0.
All right.
I mean, come on.
I gave you guys enough crap for
Start of the season,
Not
gotta
bold,
start
bold.
strong.
yeah, not bold locks.
Yeah,
While I proceeded to lock every Naventic loss. But I was right on every Naventic
That's
loss.
true. P-Flame G, how are you feeling about this series?
I'm also gonna say 3-0 Tempo Storm.
Yeah,
Really
there's
not much to say
not a
about
whole
it.
lot to say about this. Alebeard, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to make this quick too so we can give Zach more time to talk about Naventic in the next pick. I'm going to go 3-0 Tempo Storm. Lock it in.
Zach,
Locking it.
3-1 Tempo Storm.
Balrog fan.
It's like euchre, count on your partner for one.
Tempo Storm 3-0.
There we go. Sunday, we have the kindergarten match, as Zex would say. No tomorrow.
Kindergarten fight.
No tomorrow against Naventic. Jeez. I don't know about this one. I'm gonna say 3-2 no tomorrow. I think no tomorrow has Naventic's number. P Flame G.
I will also say 3-2 No Tomorrow, since their last series together was a 5-game series that No Tomorrow had no right to lose. I'm hoping that 2 months of practice has made them slightly better, and they can close it out.
Does anybody know what Naventic has done in the off season besides Kenma buying shoes?
Probably played Horizon Zero Dawn.
There you go. Yeah.
Is that?
Go look at his Twitter account, and I'm sure you can find all the non-hero stuff that he's doing there.
I think they're just in. No,
no teams are going to be broadcasting their scrims, so we don't actually know too much on what's going on.
Yeah.
Ailbert, how about you on this this incredible barn burner?
I'm going to go 3-1 No Tomorrow. Oh, it hurts me to do that, though. So torn. Like, sometimes you just don't know who to root for, and then other times, I'm going to stick with that, I guess. I'm conflicted about it. There are no winners in this match.
That's a true statement.
There are no winners.
Zex.
I think if No Tomorrow beats Naventic, then Freedom's the winner.
That's true.
What makes?
Yeah. Gives them some cushion.
Oh God, what kind of gap do I want to give here?
Zex, we need your picks.
Let's go 3-2 No Tomorrow. Because this game will be the equivalent of watching a live Hero League game.
There you go.
Not Team League, okay. Hero League.
Balrog fan, how about you?
Naventic 3-1. No Tomorrow's really bad, guys. They're really bad. I mean, they're really bad. Remember how bad they were?
Am I allowed to change my picks? I got caught up in all you guys were doing tomorrow.
All right, we'll let you change that one.
This is the beginner's mistake, right?
Right.
Yeah, No Tomorrow won one game. They beat somebody.
They beat Team Freedom.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Freedom.
3-1 Naventic. That's my new pick. Obviously, I'm filled with confidence.
Oh my goodness!
Blowing up my spot, man.
There we go. Last game will be on Sunday night. Teammate versus Tempo Storm. So we have a good one to look forward to. I am going to go 3-2 Teammate. They're coming in strong and hot from the end of last season, 6 weeks ago. So I think they'll really be focused on this series this weekend, and I think they'll take it 3-2. It's going to be a really close one. P Flame G.
I say 3-2 Tempo. I still think they hold the edge over Teammate.
I'm excited about this weekend. It's going to be interesting to see, for one thing, what the new meta is after such a long break, but then also to see, what teams can carry the momentum. So hopefully Teammate still can. I think this is going to be a great series. I am going to go 3-2 Tempo Storm, and I think it could go either way, but I think 3-2 will definitely be a number that they're going to hit. It's just a matter of who gets the 3. Tempo Storm with moderate confidence.
Zexerus, how about you?
I like it.
I'm gonna go 3-2 Teammate. I think at the midseason clash, I think Teammate broke a threshold for themselves.
Yeah.
They obviously we all know Tempo Storm is no slouch at all in the NA scene.
I want to change my pick again.
Well, one time.
Beating a LAN-tested team like Tempo Storm in your first LAN as a team is no small feat. There's so many factors going into a LAN when your team's just formed. There's nerves. There's actually communicating with each other. Side by side. seeing everybody's reaction through the ups and downs of team fights and objective taking and stuff like that. And they performed admirably well, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So
I think they're just going to get stronger from here on out. So, but Tempo Storm, again, no slouch. It's going to be a close one. This Team 8 versus GFB is going to be like the fun match to watch, because you're going to see like really weird stuff come out of that particular set, I think, where Team 8 and Tempo Storm is going to be the high-level NA play. High-level NA play.
All right, I'm going to mess up Balrog. I'm going to switch back my original No Tomorrow pick. I'm going to go back to 3-1 there, and I'm going to use my one redo to go 3-2 for Team 8.
Oh my goodness.
What was your original one?
You guys have made 6 picks. I've made 14 picks.
Right.
No Tomorrow, 3-1. That was my original pick, and then I changed it. So
and then you're going Team...
Yes.
And then...
Team 8, 3-2. And then when you get this all wrong and I perform poorly, I'm going to say you got my picks wrong.
No, you got No Tomorrow, 3-1, Team 8, 3-2. I nailed this, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Are you sure?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take I'll take whatever you put down, because obviously I don't know what I'm doing.
That brings me back to me. Yeah, no, that's correct. Okay. Anyways, Team 8, 3-1.
3-1? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are going to come in strong. I really believe that they are ready to perform and step it up even further. They've done nothing but grow as a team, and which is dangerous for the other teams.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying for the other teams, because look at the amount they grew in such a short span of time.
Mm-hmm. And they've had 6 weeks to work on things together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the best storyline out of the HGC
easily.
so far, is just teammates' remarkable surge to the top.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
God, watch them fall apart.
No!
Well, I think I think that there was always that opportunity, but them performing so well on land against international competition, I think that really will be a confidence boost and will hopefully sustain them going forward.
Because they did, what was it? They did the one thing no NA team has done yet.
They took a game off Dig.
Yeah,
they took a game off an EU team.
NA highlight is that you win
Which
a game.
Carl will go, oh, wow. Ooh. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, okay, so for one thing, take a game off EU. We did that like a couple, globals ago. We actually beat EU. We can't do that anymore.
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah. I'm saying, for the first time ever, is an incorrect take. But
that's true.
One game is not impressive. One game is a fluke.
In terms of esports, 2 years ago is like the 1950s in baseball. It's because of how often roster swaps happen, things like that. The scene is constantly shifting. So let's all remember when Cloud9 was relevant. That was 2 years ago. Doesn't seem that long when you think about it in any term but esports.
One game is still not impressive.
It's still something that happened.
It's something that happened. It's not an impressive thing that happened.
You're just a hater. My God. I bring that like high energy hatred towards an event, and Carl is just like this dismissive, nonchalant. Whatever. My dog pooped this morning. What else do you? What do you want?
Oh my goodness.
Kind of hatred.
I expect wildcard teams to take a game off of major regions, and it just happens. People lose to teams that they're better than, and it happens where EU just loses one game to
Nomia.
Mm-hmm.
Was that was that the Asian?
Australian
team?
They took a game off Misfits. Team Liquid.
Yeah, I want to watch more of them. Like, if there's gonna be a breakout team from a minor region, it's probably gonna be them, because they showed like.
Not counting EBA.
What's that?
Other than Please Bavard this.
Yeah, Sorry, I just love that team. But like, Nomiya played incredibly strong from coming out of a minor region. Like, sorry, Carl, taking a game off Liquid / Misfits, that's actually impressive. Just because of how strong that team is and
But
how
that's a minor region versus what should be a major region.
Right.
In NA.
Yeah. It is more impressive for Nomi to do that because they're not supposed to be anywhere close, and it's like, oh wow, that's cool. But it also just kind of happens every now and then.
Yeah.
But,
okay, we got to move on. I picked the train up and threw it down.
All right, we're gonna rapid fire through these EU ones, because EU is kind of a train wreck between 1 and 4 and
he's pretty
5 and 8.
cut between.
Picking EU is all
exactly.
If you can tell by my roster
Yep.
population.
First on Friday, Fnatic and Team Expert 3-0 Fnatic. They just won Western Clash. They're arguably the best team, best non-Korean team right now. I think they still have Dunk Train as a coach, I believe, and I think that adds a lot. Oh, you're right. Never mind. Yeah. Still, wow. Fnatic 3-0. I stand by
Jimmy,
it.
I know I was. Woo.
It's okay. Fnatic
3-0.
Yes.
Said?
Okay. Fnatic came in second, but that's still pretty good. But we're talking about Team Expert didn't go to the Eastern Clash. Okay.
Team Expert did not go to the Clash.
Fnatic 3-0. Carl, save me.
Fnatic 3-1. I still think Expert's not a bad team. They're still like kind of fighting to get into that top 3 spot, and they're close enough. They'll earn that one game.
Yeah, I'm going to say Fnatic. Oh, sorry. I was
Go
going
ahead.
to say Fnatic 3-1 as well. Now, ADRD is on Team Expert, right? So I guess there is a chance he's such a draft genius. Maybe he's got something prepared, so maybe this could be where the upset comes in, but I'm going to go 3-1 Fnatic.
Sextus?
It's going to be 3-0 Fnatic. ADRD's genius can't save him here.
Powerhour fan, you going to continue riding the Team Expert train?
I think he jumped off it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he jumped off it like week 5 or something.
When they started going against the top 3 teams and lost every single game. Yeah, yeah, but I still think I'm with Carl. I think they're a good team. I'll go 3-2. I think they put up a fight.
I believe it.
All right, and the second game on Friday is going to be Team Liquid, formerly known as Misfits, against Tricked Esports. Team Liquid 3-0 here. Do I really need to explain that pick? P-Flame G.
You said Liquid 3-0?
What's this one again? Liquid... oh, yeah, 3-0.
I'm going to say Liquid 3-0 as well for all the reasons that P-Flame and DJ didn't give.
Zexus, how are you feeling this?
Have you ever seen Mike Tyson punch a baby? Because this is what it's going to be. It's going to be 3-0 Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid was 7-0 last season, or last half of the season.
I don't see that. I don't see anybody not named Fnatic or Dignitas changing that.
I agree. Powerhour fan, same?
Yep.
All right.
Not much else to say. I mean, it's Liquid.
There you go. So we have a kind of mirror of what's happening in NA happening Saturday for EU. We have Synergy playing B Genius. I'm going to say... Oh, jeez. The argument always with Zex is they've got to win a series at some point, but it's not going to be this, I don't think, because they lost to them in the first half.
If it's not this, it's not
ever going to happen. I'm going to say 3.
Wait, is B Genius still to completely?
They're 0-7.
B Genius is 0-7. Synergy is 1-6 with their one victory being over B Genius.
So
okay,
I'm going to go Synergy 3-1 over B Genius. Because this is just not going to be... It's going to be Hero League Live. Oh. P-Flame G, how are you feeling on this?
I'm going to say 3-2 B Genius. Because nobody goes nobody goes a season without winning a game.
I don't know. I'd like to. Well, that's not the same MOBA, but I'd like to introduce you to. Oh God, MUFC from Dota.
Jeez.
See, Jimmy knows what I'm talking about. They went completely defeated through the group stage of an international. Didn't win a single game, and that's like you end up playing like 20 some odd games.
Yeah.
Like sets of 2. So it was ugly. Yeah, it's Europe.
Alrighty. Alebeard, what are your thoughts on this series?
Well, my sources out of Europe tell me that Bean Genius has been putting in a lot of work. They've really been scrimming hard against a lot of the top teams, showing good results. Actually, I don't know any of this stuff. So I'm going to go Synergy 3-0.
Now see, that's not right, because he started talking about it,
legit.
and I was like, "Oh, bet, all right, that sounds great." And he's like, "I don't know any of this," and I'm like,
he's trying to swing you to going with B Genius.
I am gonna go B Genius.
You just got juked.
You beat it.
I was going B Genius anyways. 3-1.
Now he has a reason, even though I made it up.
There we go.
No, my reason is average. Like, it's got the streak has to end at some point for these guys, and like Carl said, if it doesn't happen against Synergy, it's not gonna happen. God, I wish I had
unless they pull a liquid and beat like Misfits.
I wish we had Lose Yourself playing in the background, because this is their one moment.
Oh my gosh! No.
After it, or just let
slip.
Spaghetti.
Oh my gosh!
This is what this game is called in my mind. This is the title for like the title fight bouts, like the Thriller Manila. This is the Mom's Spaghetti match.
Oh my goodness! Bauer fan, how about you on this one?
Willie does hard drugs. Synergy 3-0.
Oh my goodness!
Synergy's not that good, Charlie. They're
no, but B Genius is that bad.
Oh my goodness! Okay, next.
B Genius isn't winless because they had like bad, luck or internet connection. They are really bad at the game of Heroes of the Storm.
They might have bad internet connection.
It doesn't matter.
That Slovakian internet, man, you don't know. I don't know if there's any Slovakians on the team, but
that's a reach. Anyways, the last game on Saturday, it's gonna be playing Ducks versus Dignitas. Here's what I meant. This was my spiel at the beginning.
Sure that's right?
3-0 Dig. So they're looking.
Who's playing who?
Playing Ducks versus
okay,
Dignitas.
Saturday. I saw Sunday.
Sorry.
I was looking at Sunday.
Playing Ducks versus Dignitas, and Dignitas will take the series 3-0, carrying the momentum from winning the clash.
They're only like 2 spots away from each other in the standings.
Yeah, but how many series in EU have gone 3-0?
So many.
If you're Liquid, almost, a good number of them.
No, honestly, most of the top 4, like 3-0 to 3-1 to the bottom 4.
Exactly.
There are not very many close games, other than just like right next to each other in the standings.
So, what do you think, P-Flame?
After trying to combat you, I think it's gonna be 3-1 Dig.
Okay. Alebeard?
I really like the Playing Ducks logo. And I want to give them a game, but I think I'm going to go 3-0 Dignitas. But I'm going to stick with that.
I think Dig is the sloppiest of the top EU teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm
That's
tempted
true.
to give Playing Ducks at least a game.
I can.
Like they're the most likely to
I can
drop
see
a
that.
game, but they did just win the clash, so they're a good team.
Before we have another Error 404 pick not found, are you going Dig 3-1 or Dig 3-0?
I was going to say, P-Flame needs to not give me any more reasons to doubt my pick, because I'm already pretty wishy-washy. I'm going to stick with 3-0 Dignitas.
Willie.
3-2 Ducks.
3-2 Ducks, okay.
All right, Dig just won the Western Clash.
Are you going to at least lock it
Playing
in?
Ducks is the real threat.
Right before the fall.
Oh my goodness.
3-2 Ducks, alright. Yeah, I'm going.
I'm sorry, I'm locking that 3-1.
Ooh.
Okay. Hang on. I am going 3-1. Oh my god, I'm all over the place because I'm doing 8 million things at
3-1
once. Sorry. 3-1 Dig.
There we
Yes,
go.
thank you. I'm looking for Willie's name. There we go. Okay.
Then Sunday's games, we have Plain Ducks once again, kind of a little bit of a back-to-back there. Plain Ducks playing Team Liquid.
This is a bad week for playing.
Yeah, this is a terrible weekend for playing Ducks. If I'm honest.
Yeah. Jeez. I don't see this being any different than the Dignitas series, so I'm going to go 3-0 Team Liquid here. Just based on past performance of Team Liquid in the first half of the clash, and Plain Ducks kind of sketchy. P Flame G.
I'm going to go 3-0 TL. I think they're definitely in domestically a cleaner team last season. They had a lot of 3-0s. I don't think playing Ducks is going to upset that.
Alebeard.
I still like the Playing Ducks logo, but I'm going to go 3-0 Team Liquid, and that will be my lock.
You have a lock already.
I thought we did one for each region. Okay, never mind.
No, we do it just overall. Sorry about not explaining that, but Zexorus, how about you?
3-0 Liquid. I feel like after not winning the Clash, Liquid's going to be playing very angry this weekend.
Yeah, and I just realized this gives Team Liquid an actually winning MOBA team. Ayo!
Well, that may be good motivation for them, too. They're going to want to come well out of the gate for their new sponsor.
It wasn't the best decision the organization's ever made.
Maybe they'll bring Double Lift over to Heroes.
I think he's already gone from the organization.
Yeah,
His contract's
probably.
over.
Brutal.
But they can send Piglet.
There we go.
Maybe if you can't carry from mid lane,
my
if you
goodness.
carry in.
Balrog fan, how about you on this series? As I derailed this.
Liquid 3-2. I think Ducks is going to be coming off of a sour loss, and Liquid's going to be going in a little fat and sassy, plus the curse of Team
Fat
Liquid.
and sassy.
Sassy.
All right.
That's how I describe myself in my online dating profile. Just kidding.
Swipe right for fat and
Sorry,
sassy.
ladies.
You can't swipe
Chat is so
that, It's
disappointed.
already taken.
Oh, speaking.
We got one more pick. Let's get
What
through
in
this
the
before
world
you go
happened?
into
Yeah,
whatever dark alley you're trying to take.
Anyway,
us down.
okay, last series, Dignitas versus Expert. I will go 3-2 because the last time they played this, it went 5 games as well. So I will give it to Dig though, 3-2 once again. They looked really good against Dig, but I think by the time I think it was they went up 2-0 on Dig. And then as soon as they had that first loss, they looked totally deflated against them. And I think Dig will do something very similar once again to them. P Flame G, how about you?
Say 3-1 Dig. I think Dignitas has improved more than Expert has with Dunk Train as coach.
Alebeard, you have any scouting?
I'm going to go with
You
that
have any
same
scouting
score.
reports for us?
I'm going to keep them to myself because this is a long-term game, and I don't want to give you guys any advantages, so my sources are my own. 3-1 Dignitas. I will say that Dunk Train also lives in Las Vegas, so we could be having lunch talking strats. Who knows?
Oh, dear God. Thank God Elena's not here.
So I'm just getting this in. She's booking a flight to Vegas right now, apparently. Just kidding. Zach, how about you on this series?
Dignitas is going to be angry after getting beaten in the head by the Ducks. So this is going to be a 3-0 Team Expert. I'm sorry, 3-0 Team Dignitas.
I like
I
how all
can't
of his
believe-
picks at least tie together. There's a story going on here.
Yeah.
Weaving that storyline in.
Dignitas somehow manages to lose to playing Ducks, but after that they're so mad they can just sweep Expert.
It's true.
They're going to make Team Expert look like amateurs.
Team Amateur.
Team Amateurs.
Oh my goodness. Balrog fan, how about you?
We'll go Dig 3-0.
There we go.
Man, Triller's really off the expert train.
He really is.
Ejected
What can I
from
say?
that.
They didn't look special in the,
No, I mean, they
Going
didn't
into
really
the
look all
final
that good against the
stretch.
top teams. It was kind of disappointing, but
they had an easy schedule and they looked really good early, and there was a good story there with AD.
ADRD.
Sorry, ADRD. I kept wanting to say ACDC, and that was
Close
not it.
enough.
ADRD, and but yeah, just the wheels fell off, man. And Dig just looks amazing. Even though if you go by Jimmy, they took second place at the Clash.
I misspoke.
Well, he also gave them second place at the Eastern Clash. So.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's yeah. I don't know. Disaster. It's a disaster.
It is a disaster.
You're not Toby-One. Stop it.
I knew Zach should get a kick out of that. Anyways, that's our picks for this week of HEC. We're all very excited that HEC is coming back. As far as hero stuff in game, we have 2.0 coming out on the 25th. We have Cassia already out on live, and I played a bit of her. And let's really quickly our initial thoughts on Cassia. I don't think she's that good. I've had trouble really getting her to work well, just because her range is actually shorter than a normal ranged assassin. I think we talked about this before, but I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts if you've played Cassia yet?
she's at a 45.7% win rate on hot slugs.
So I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the whole idea of her getting more damage off of blinding opponents, it sounds like a great idea, but it doesn't seem to work yet, at least until some pro team figures it out.
I mean, it's like there are blinds in the game, but you don't get like chain blinds and stuff, and it's not. It's like Johanna usually doesn't just save her blind for a tactical, like, all right, Cassie's gonna blow her combo, I should save my blind right now. And like, or even if you're playing her in quick match, you pick your team comp, and you're playing her in Here League, it's like, well, should I pick Johanna, who can kind of synergize, or just pick ETC because he's ETC's in the dumpster right now, but pick Muradin or Diablo because they're a good tank.
Did he take a nosedive?
I think she's a fun here. Yeah, a big one.
Okay, I haven't looked.
The ETC changes.
Oh my goodness, you're right. Holy smokes. RIP ETC forever. Bye. Alebeard, what were
I
your...
think Cassie is a fun.
Sorry, yeah, what were your thoughts, Alebeard?
I was going to say, I just think she's fun to play, and I like the idea that they're incorporating a skill cap with her where you need to be able to stutter step and move to get the most out of her. But I do think she's really held back by her shorter range. It's going to be hard for her to displace some of the other auto attack characters because of that shorter range. She's going to be a little bit more vulnerable to get in there and do what she needs to do.
Yeah, it's like you have to be good at the game to stutter step properly and be and like make use for trait. But the better you are, the better people are at punishing her short range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't looked at hot slugs recently, and I'm blaming you, Alebeard, for this. But Murky's number 3 right now. Maybe that's why Balrog fan.
I've been crushing it.
That's why Balrog fan doesn't want to play. He knows Murky's going to be in every game. He's going to pull his hair out.
See what my Murky win rate is.
Also, apparently, you should never ever pick True Sight at level 1. If you look at Master, she has like a 49% win rate with the other 2 level 1 talents, and she's a 37% win rate with True Sight.
Wow.
And like win rates are inflated in Master because Master players just win a lot of games. So I'm not saying she's actually like a 50% win rate champ, but
interesting.
That's pretty telling when the better players can't make that talent work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been playing with that, and it's really hard to actually get the quests completed because you have to put yourself in harm's way to really get value out of it. You use your W to follow up with the E, and you're just sitting there stabbing them, but you have no escape.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to provide anything that like Vala can't provide. With
and
safety.
the other heroes can do it more safely.
Yeah, numbers wise.
Yeah, for sure. That should be it, though, unless anyone else has any final thoughts before we close out episode 99 and move on to some after show games. This has been, Heroes Power, episode 99. Let's go around for final thoughts real quick. Power fan, how about you?
I'm just ready for my loot boxes, ready to see how Heroes looks in 2.0. I'm excited for HGC this week. I think it really instills hype for the game for me as a player. Like, I want to play the game more every time I watch an HGC match, so I think that'll be good for me. I mean, I'm trying to push Legend and Hearthstone this season, so I'm going to be distracted, but I always have loved HGC since it's started.
So would you say you're on a quest to hit Legend?
It's true. That is a bad pun.
It is.
No, I do like the quest Legend.
No, they're fun. Zexus, how about you?
I've been playing with my new toys.
Where'd you get those from?
The spring sale for on Blizzard. I got my Stitches with the bikini code, and I got my Chen because I want more disappointment in my life. And then I got because I play derby. I play roller derby, so leggings are sometimes kind of required to prevent certain things. So I got some Heroes of the Storm leggings, and they're wonderful. Nice. And I can wear them to work, and nobody looks at me funny because I do additional work at a skating rink just to get me out of the house.
P5G, I want your thoughts because I want to unfreeze you there, buddy.
I was like, what is he doing?
I had something I was going to say. Oh, I'm excited for HGC. My interest in games is usually esport driven. When I watch a lot of League esports, I start playing a bunch of League. When I watch HGC, I start playing HOTS. When I'm starting to get into StarCraft, I'm trying to find all the GSLs and stuff like that to watch. So I'm glad it's starting up again. I'm excited for 2.0. It'll be good. See you all next week for episode 100.
Yeah, definitely. Alebeard, thank you so much for being on the show. We always love having you on, your insight, especially having been at Dorm. Feel free to let us know if you ever want to be on again. We'd love to have you, as always, on the show. And any final thoughts from you this last week of Heroes? Been a lot of stuff.
Yeah, just thanks first and foremost for having me on. It was a lot of fun. I don't get to see you guys enough with my weird schedule, so it's always fun to hang out with you and talk Heroes. I'm also excited about HGC coming back. The Eastern Clash and the Western Clash were great, but it just seems like so long since we had some HGC action. So can't wait to have that come back. And then, of course, like everybody else, can't wait for 2.0 to get around here.
Yeah, that is definitely true. 2.0 will be awesome. As always, check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/BlizzPro for past episodes. All our other great shows. I won't go through them right now because I'm already losing my voice, I think. But yeah, check out BlizzPro.com for all your news, all the articles from Mr. Robot over there. And we'll see you in game for our in-game games. I don't know what's a better way of saying that. Anyways, this has been episode 99 of the Heroes Power. We will see you next week for 100. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you later. Stay tight. All right, we are off.